Welcome everyone to the very first gameplay showcase for Project Fighters Raids. There's a lot of content in the game, so I won't be able to cover everything in a single video. Today I'm going to show you one of the unique Dragonlands challenges. As you can see, there are several dragon power-based challenges here. Let's check out the fairy one. So here's our character selection screen. You can see I've already unlocked quite a few characters, but we'll need a tank here, so I'm going with Birdie. After that, we'll need a healer, and Lunetta is a great pick because she can restore mana as well. Then, since we can choose 3 damage dealers, I'm going with Renee, Cham Cham, and Ayane. So, as you can see, we're already in the match, and we've got 5 dragon powers to assign to our team. Fire Dragon boosts ability damage, which is perfect for poke-heavy characters, so I'm giving that to Cham Cham. Ice Dragon deals extra damage to debuffed targets, making it a great option for burst characters like Ayane. Fairy Dragon extends your buffs by 2 turns, which makes it really strong on Renee, especially with her stealth. Stone Dragon is an obvious pick for our tank, so that goes to Birdie. And finally, Shadow Dragon isn't the best fit for Lunetta, but since it's the only option we have left, I'm assigning it to her. And here we are in the match. As you can see, each character's dragon power is displayed in the top right corner. All of the enemies are running Fairy Dragon buffs since this is the Fairy Dragon challenge. Fairy Dragon extends every buff by 2 turns, which makes this especially dangerous because this team is very buff heavy. For this first turn, I'm not really looking to hard commit to damage yet. I mostly want to use my abilities to set up the fight. That said, Renee actually has a pretty strong burst turn 1, so I could use her combo to blow up one of their healers. But instead, I'm going to focus Dasha, since she's the biggest DPS threat on the enemy team.
Just a little punishment. That must have hurt.
I'm also using Lunetta's healing ability because Overheal creates a shield. So let's get everything in place, and I'm going to have Birdie taunt 3 of them. As you can see, the taunt debuff is already up. Alright, now it's the enemy's turn. I'm going to slow the game down to 2 times speed here, because 4 times is a bit too fast right now. Our team is in a very strong position now. As you can see, my characters have a lot of buffs active. Cham Cham alone already has 4 buffs on her. So now, we can start poking the enemy team down. Or, we can go for a kill right away. Dasha is already at about half health, so let's see how much damage Cham Cham can deal with her ultimate. Oh, that does a lot of damage. And now we can use Ayane's Execute. That should finish her off. Yep, there it is. Dasha is down already, and it's only turn 2. Now we can keep the pressure going. I think their healer, Thalassor, is the next best target. And nice! We successfully stunned Thalassor. That's really good for us. We do need some healing here, so I'm going to keep stacking Lunetta's passive. Oh, and I'm taunted by Elfelt right now, so I have to focus Elfelt for the moment. Okay, a few reaction abilities are triggering here. And as you can see, they're basically forced to attack Birdie, which is perfect for us. Our taunt setup is working really well, and overall, the first few turns have gone exactly the way we wanted. Oh, I just realized Elfelt has Renee taunted, so Renee is forced to attack her for the moment. That said, we can still keep poking Thalassor down with Cham Cham, and I'm also going to use Ayane's Q here. Now I need to choose who to heal. It's really between Lunetta and Birdie, and I think Birdie is the better choice here. I'm also going to try to hook their healer with Birdie to create a little more pressure, but it misses. Alright, now it's their turn. Elfelt has so many buffs on her now, and that makes her incredibly tanky. If you look at her passive, she's already up to 9 stacks, which is kind of insane. For now, I'm still focusing on poking down Thalassor. That was a nice crit. Renee is still taunted, so there isn't much flexibility there. At this point, my main priority is keeping Lunetta alive, because we really need her heal. And if possible, I'd also like to crowd control their tank so she can't keep stacking her passive this fast. Alright, she's still sitting at 5 stacks. Right now, I'm really trying to either burst down Thalassor or at least poke him as much as possible with my damage dealers. Renee is doing a solid job here, but Lunetta is in a really dangerous spot. For turn 3, her health is already getting very low. I did successfully hook Thalassor though, which is huge, because now I can put even more pressure on him, as you can see. So at this point, I'm fully focusing him down. Lunetta is still getting dangerously close to dying, so I'm going to use Mana Surge for the ultimate, because, trust me, we're really going to need that mana later in the game.
The cauldron overflows.
And my hook connects again, which is great. We're now very close to killing Thalassor. I'm thinking about executing him, but instead I'm setting up Ayane's execute for the next turn. At this point, it should be a guaranteed kill on Thalassor next turn, which is great. You can see the enemy is trying really hard to save him now. They're healing him, shielding him, doing everything they can to keep him alive. Lunetta is still barely holding on, and I'm going to use Birdie's taunt here. Now I'm setting up Cham Cham's burst for the next play, and we could actually execute with Ayane here, but wow, we're taunted. That is really bad. Oh man. Okay, so Thalassor survives for one more turn, but that's fine. Lunetta is insanely close to death, so I'm still trying to protect her as much as possible.
Next, please. Brood with care.
We still can't use the execute. Ayane is still taunted. So instead, I'm going to have Cham Cham finish off Thalassor here. Then we get a little extra poke in with Renee. After that, we need to switch focus to someone else, and I think Manat is a great target now.
My claw. That must have hurt. Good magic takes time.
Once again, a few reaction effects are triggering here. For example, Lunetta's healing reduction comes up, but at this point it's pretty much useless since their healer is already dead. Right now, I'm trying to poke Manat down while also doing my best to keep Lunetta alive. Because after Thalassor, Manat is definitely our next main target. Actually, yeah, Lunetta is dead. We lose our healer here, which is really bad, because now we have no way to recover health. Still, we have 4 characters left, and they only have 3, so we're still in a decent position. The problem is that we're kind of forced to attack Elfelt right now, which is really frustrating.
Let's finish this.
But Renee still has her full burst available, and wow, that is a huge amount of damage onto Manat. That's really good for us. The downside is that most of my damage dealers are still taunted by Elfelt, so our progress is pretty slow here. And if you look at Elfelt's passive again, you can see how much value she's getting. She's incredibly annoying to deal with. Now Manat is setting up more protection on Siegfried for some reason, which is interesting. I'm still taunted by Elfelt for one more turn, so for now, all I can really do is keep poking Elfelt down. Renee is dealing massive damage, but unfortunately I still can't execute Manat. And now Birdie is taunted again, so once more, we're forced to keep hitting Elfelt. Elfelt is honestly incredibly annoying, and I really hate playing against her, but that's just what tanks are supposed to do, right? Ayane is still taunted, so I still can't use the execute on Manat. But at least we're still getting damage onto their front line.
Stay still, asshole.
And there we go. I successfully land the hook, and Renee finishes off Manat. That's a huge step forward. So now they only have one major damage dealer left, along with a very tanky front line. Since I'm still being forced to attack Elfelt, I'm thinking maybe we can just focus her down here. But honestly, it doesn't matter too much if Siegfried stays up for a little longer, because he's not going to deal enough damage to take down 4 of my characters by himself. So at this point, I decide to fully focus Elfelt. I even try to crowd control her with Birdie, which would be great if it lands. At the same time, I'm still looking for opportunities to poke Siegfried down as well. My team doesn't really have much AoE damage, so this comp is much more about burst. And then I realize that Cham Cham has her ultimate ready, which means I can combo that with Ayane's execute. But unfortunately, it's still not enough to finish the target. That's okay though. I just need to set up one more turn of burst, and the next turn should be ours. But wait a second, maybe Renee can finish him off here. And yes, there it is. She lands another crit, and Siegfried goes down. Now, Elfelt is the only enemy left alive, and at this point, we are very close to winning. We still have 4 characters up, and they only have Elfelt left. I'm just going to speed up the video here for you because I'm just using damage dealing abilities on Elfelt, and this is a very slow process. And final turn. 7 HP, really? Okay, let Birdie finish her off with a hook. As you can see, we completed a couple of quests here and earned a nice amount of experience for all of our characters. I'm already pretty high level on a few of them, so it doesn't make a huge difference for me right now. And that's basically it for this challenge. I had actually already completed it before recording this video, so I didn't receive the rewards this time, but I can still show you what you normally get. You receive this pink fairy dragon icon, and you also get some in-game currency, which you can use to buy skins and other content. Thanks for watching, and don't worry, there's a lot more Project Fighters Raids content on the way.